Today, I've put all 32 NFL franchises on a map and given each team their greatest players of all time. It's NFL Imperialism All-Time Teams Edition, our first franchise on the move in this video. Well, it's a historic one, the Chicago Bears. The Bears making our first move of the video. They are heading that way to take on, oh nice, the Indianapolis Colts. And yes, as you can see from the Bears logo, the Titans/Oilers logo, I am using a bunch of throwback logos on our map today because I'm just so full of adventure and whimsy. Isn't that fun? The Chicago Bears anchored by an elite defense. Look at all them linebackers. Singletary, Butkus, Urlacher, also Sweetness, Walter Payton in the backfield. The Colts, meanwhile, they've got 19 different all-time QBs. Peyton Manning will be under center. He's got a pretty good-looking supporting cast as well. Oh boy, I hate to report this, Bears fans. That elite defense couldn't stop Peyton Manning, and Walter Payton couldn't carry the team. So that's a blowout in our first game. Matter of fact, it was Eric Dickerson, another legend on the other side, who did most of the work. 1 touchdown, 101 yards, outplaying the aforementioned Walter Payton. A nice start for what very well could be a long run for the Indianapolis Colts, them and their dominant offensive group. And for winning a game, they get to steal a player from the all-time Bears, so why not help bolster their defense? Mike Singletary, what's up? Our second matchup was in the exact same region of the USA, Detroit narrowly playing the Colts. Instead, they take on the all-time Bengals. Another all-time team with a slew of electric skill players, including Calvin Johnson, Megatron on the all-time Lions, while the Bengals have Hall of Fame left tackle Anthony Munoz, and I'll be honest, not the greatest team around him, but anything can happen in Imperialism. Unfortunately, my roster assessment was correct, as the Bengals lacked the firepower to keep up. Matt Stafford tossed 4 touchdown passes, Barry Sanders racked up 145 scrimmage yards and a touchdown, while Megatron simply feasted, finding Pater twice. Okay, and by now, I'm sure there's more than a few of you leaving a few comments down below asking me about the roster, so let's quickly chat about it. It was created by a username Elars14. Hall of Fame All-Time is the name of the roster. As you can see, you can download it for yourself. He makes this roster each and every year with all these legends, nearly 500 created from scratch, so I wanted to give him a huge shout out. I'll also mention that he uses a scale with overall ratings. So looking at QBs, there's only 499 overalls, but it's arguably the 4 greatest QBs ever, so they do set the standard for this roster. Even if you or I disagree with some of the ratings specifically, I do appreciate the variance instead of having just everyone be a 99 overall. Like, could you argue Drew Brees was a 99 at his peak? I mean, absolutely, but even at a 96 on this roster, he's still rated as the 12th best QB of all time, which seems pretty fair. Last thing I'll mention, and it's a bit of unfortunate news, I must say, this roster does not feature real player face scans or portraits. That's a little trick by me with video editing because I like adding more effort than needed into my videos. If we do get a Legends roster from the PC modding community with player portraits and all that, don't worry, I will definitely make a video about it down the road, but for now, this is the roster we're using, and I'm a big fan of it. The Colts wiped the Bengals off the map while also stealing their star Hall of Fame left tackle Anthony Munoz. Our next wheel spin, well, it set up a classic, a battle of Texas already, Houston versus the Cowboys. Indeed, the Cowboys simply loaded with too much history as their near-perfect roster would romp the Texans. Roger Staubach got the start. He threw a couple touchdowns and ran one into Emmitt Smith, did his thing on the ground, and Dallas couldn't be stopped. Just like that, all of Texas belonging to the Cowboys. I mean, we kind of saw that coming, unfortunately. Just kidding, America's team, we love to see it. Not that they really needed JJ Watt, but yeah, they steal JJ Watt. Matchup number 4 of the video, another one with big implications. AFC West battle, Denver, Kansas City. The Broncos will elect to start John Elway at QB. Look at that, Champ Bailey, Von Miller, Pat Surtain. The defense is about to go crazy, but they're obviously gonna have their hands full. Look at the Chiefs. Oh no, the Chiefs might have the best roster in this whole shebang. That's better than the Cowboys team I just saw. Wow. Interesting. The Broncos defense making plays. Carl Mecklenburg, a player I definitely know a lot about. He picked off Pat Mahomes in the 4th. And flash forward after that pick, the two teams exchanged touchdowns, so we're still even from where we were at that point. The Chiefs now in must-score territory. That's a first down. It's a 5-point game, meaning the Chiefs obviously need a full touchdown. They've got 2 minutes to work with, though. Mahomes, so much time. Are you kidding me, Denver? You gotta get some pressure. They have intercepted Mahomes twice in this game, but Pat, a chance for a legendary comeback, creeping up on midfield. Dude, the Broncos could help out the rest of our map with a game-winning interception. Are you kidding me? All-time legend Al Wilson, another player I definitely know a lot about. What a play. Indeed, one more first down for the Broncos, and they finished it off a 5-point massive upset. Mahomes put up huge numbers, but 3 interceptions. Gotta say, John Elway outplayed him. Al Wilson, the game-sealing interception, Carl Mecklenburg, and Steve Atwater. Okay, that's a name I actually am familiar with. What a game by the Broncos defense. That was legitimate surprise from me a few seconds ago. Looking at the Chiefs roster, I legit think it might be the best team on this entire roster, and they get eliminated. Extremely well done by the Broncos. As a reward, they get prime Tyreek Hill to stretch the field. That is not bad. Next up, we were heading to the state of Florida, where the Buccaneers were traveling south to take on Jacksonville. Another all-time team with an all-time ridiculous defensive group: Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, John Lynch, and of course Warren Sapp. Oof, it's looking rough for the Jaguars. I'm sorry, Jacksonville fans. Tony Boselli, I think he's a Hall of Famer. There really isn't much after that, unfortunately. Oh, early in this game, though, it's the Jags defense making a play. Baker Mayfield pick 6 Mathis in to open the scoring. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there's our first massive upset of the video. What? Tampa Bay? I don't know what the explanation is. I guess the Jags defense locked down Davon Hamilton, Josh Hines-Allen, each with a sack. They picked Baker off. Okay, sure. Recipe for success. Denver beating Kansas City was definitely surprising, but this way more of an upset on paper. Why not let the Jags bolster that defense even further? They've got a lot of work to do, but they are 1-0 in the video. Up next, 2 teams with a lot of history: the Raiders, the Rams. Yes, I know that's the St. Louis Rams logo. Just let me cook, okay? A lot of talent on this all-time Raiders team, kind of all over the ball, both sides of the ball, I should say. Ted Hendricks, a 6'7" linebacker. That's always going to cause problems. The Rams, meanwhile, get to bring back Aaron Donald, arguably the GOAT defensive player. I love their offensive weapons too. Marshall Faulk, OG. And good thing I mentioned him a second ago, because Marshall Faulk ran buck wild in this game. The 3-time Offensive Player of the Year and NFL MVP racked up 105 yards on the ground plus 2 TDs, while the Rams sacked Ken Stabler 3 times en route to a convincing victory. After their big win, I let the Rams steal the aforementioned Ted Hendricks from the Raiders, as our next matchup would bring in our first repeat appearance team, the Browns, traveling to take on the Lions. I'm not gonna lie, considering their recent history, you might forget that the Browns, a pretty historic franchise led by Jim Brown, and a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball. Dude, I don't care about the weapons on Cleveland. Apparently, with all due respect, the Lions are built different. Another huge victory. Matt Stafford is simply cooking. 284-3. He's 2-0 with 2 perfect performances, while Barry Sanders, 94 yards, a TD, slightly outplaying Jim Brown in a historic running back duel. Unfortunately, we've got to say goodbye to this classic Browns logo. Was that a leprechaun? What? We won't, however, say goodbye to Myles Garrett in this video, as he teams up opposite Aiden Hutchinson now on the all-time Lions. They are getting stacked. Our next matchup, a simple wheel spin. The Eagles heading directly into Steelers territory. Battle of Pennsylvania, let's get it. The Eagles, with obviously a very good current roster, just won a Super Bowl. Throw in the likes of Reggie White, Jason Kelsey, and others. They're going to be a tough out. The Steelers, meanwhile, okay, I'm realizing in real time, they are the best roster I've seen yet. Yeah, they just usurped the Chiefs and every other team. Are you kidding me with those 98-99 overalls? Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown. The Eagles fell behind early, but they're still in this game. Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. Seen that a time or two. Yeah, it might be over. The Eagles trying to hold on. A 1-yard rushing TD from Saquon. The first time ever. Where's the tush push? Oh my word, it's Ben to Antonio Brown. AB wants to get a 0-yard TD. I don't even know how that's possible. Yeah, the Steelers, they destroy the Eagles, the all-time. I'm not sure who's going to beat them. 265 and 4 TDs for Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, just a perfect performance. Obviously, anything can happen in Madden and in Imperialism, but yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing how these Steelers will ever lose. They literally had no weaknesses, have no weaknesses, but Saquon will now be their starting running back, so that's not bad. Up next, the Rams were spun for their second appearance of the video, sent south to take on the Chargers. The Rams, as we've seen, a powerhouse, but don't sleep on the San Diego/LA Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson, a couple nice tight ends, and some pretty good defensive options too. And I definitely undersold this all-time Chargers team. They simply dominated the Rams from start to finish. Dan Fouts got the start over Justin Herbert and feasted on the Rams secondary. The aforementioned LaDainian Tomlinson produced 107 scrimmage yards and a score, while Keenan Allen caught a pair of TD passes in what was a blowout win. Definitely a nice move by the Chargers in terms of land territory acquired. They also acquire a little guy by the name of Aaron Donald, who, yep, he'll help their defense. Back to the Northeast we'd go, the Ravens making their debut, traveling to take on the Jets of New York. I'm not going to sit here and say the all-time Ravens, led by Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and company, is a bad roster. No, not even close. You know what? I might have thought it was going to be a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. They do, however, have a roster that looks much better than the New York Jets. I mean, some talent there for the Jets. 2 centers in their top 3 overall players. That's not a good sign. Ah, man, I can't lie. I was pulling for the Jets in this one. Despite the score, it was close for a couple minutes. It was a blowout. Dude, Joe gave the Jets like nothing. 125 yards. I guess it really wasn't close. That's my bad, Jets fans. The Ravens expanded their territory on the map and added another goated secondary piece, Darrelle Revis. Back to the state of Florida, we'd go with the Dolphins spun. The only team somewhat north of them is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags are 1-0 this video. They looked real good, but the Dolphins, this might be their video. Look at that roster led by Dan Marino. And we'll get to that game in a second, but very quickly, I wanted to say a big thank you to all of you for supporting my channel here. What a run we've been on. We are so close to 20K subscribers. If you haven't yet, well, you know what to do. Today's question of the video, I want to hear from you in the comment section. Have you ever, or do you currently play organized competitive football? Me, I never did. It's not like I was too scared to play. I mean, maybe I would have been, but no, I did never play football. My high school didn't have a program when I was there. They do now, and I like to think if it was there, I would have played, but again, probably not. I mean, I was probably too scared. Drop me a comment down below if you do play or did play. I'd love to hear some glory days story. Tell me how your season's going right now if you're currently playing. I want to read it all. Dude, when I say that anything can happen in these games in Imperialism, this is what I mean. The Jaguars, again, just crazy overmatched on paper, just like they were against in-state rival Tampa Bay, but they found a way to win that one, and they are within striking distance here. A super low-scoring game. I guess Warren Sapp probably helping their defense, but it's their offense on the field now. Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, they've got a couple legends out there too. Jimmy Smith, I believe. Trevor Lawrence, lots of time across the middle. Look who it is. Travis Hunter is an example, by the way, the creator of this roster. He did juice some rookies and young players a bit to what they could be in their career, as look at Hunter go on offense, just feasting. The crazy thing is, though, obviously Travis Hunter not playing that well through the first couple weeks of this season. He's only like an 87 receiver on this. Oh my word. The blocking, the vision. Fred Taylor in for 6. There you go, Jacksonville. Despite the Jags scoring way too fast to end regulation, the Dolphins couldn't do anything with their 1 minute remaining. We are now in OT. I'm not going to sit through all of OT. We will advance quickly through it as, Miami takes possession, and they are marching. It might be over for the Jaguars right here. For whatever reason, Miami is not settling for a field goal to win this game, even though they definitely could, right? I think I understand overtime rules. They're going to try punching it in for 6. That's Devon Achane in the backfield. I mean, sure, he gets in. Okay, that was kind of an anticlimactic finish. What is this camera angle? Long story short, the Dolphins, after a scare late by the Jags, do hold on for an OT victory, as the state of Florida does fall completely to the Miami Dolphins. I also figured we'd keep passing around Warren Sapp from one Florida team to another. A matchup with huge implications up next. The Colts taking on the Lions, 2 teams we've already seen being dominant. We're jumping into another really good game. Detroit up 3 on the Colts, but look at Indianapolis. They are buried deep in their own territory. That's a good run, though. Eric Dickerson picked up a good chunk to at least get them a little more breathing room. 3rd and 8, though. Peyton Manning dropping back. Good protection. It evaporates, though, as he is strip sacked by Aiden Hutchinson. That would be former Colts head coach Jeff Saturday, who jumped on the ball. I guess this is game right here. 4th and 8. Play action. Play nothing. Hutchinson gets to Peyton. 2 straight plays in the clutch to seal this game. It was their pass rush that ended the game, but again, shout out to Matt Stafford. He is cooking in this video. Another 3 touchdown passes in a 3rd win for the Lions. Peyton Manning and the Colts eliminated from the map. That is a good roster taken down, and will once again recycle a legend onto their 3rd team now, Mike Singletary, originally from the Bears. My Seahawks were spun for our next matchup, surely gonna be in tough, taking on the all-time 49ers. That being said, an offensive line anchored by Hall of Famer Walter Jones, the Legion of Boom, Marshawn Lynch, Prime Russ. I mean, I don't mind this team. Yep. Okay, the 49ers, I was worried about their roster being too good, and nope, you know what? It definitely is. Probably top 3 or 4 in this video. I mean, look at those 99s. All right, yeah, whatever. Just, can we move on? The less said about the... dude, it wasn't even close. Russell Wilson, 3 interceptions. I don't even want to talk about Joe Montana's stat line. Terrell Owens, 9 for 126 and 2. The Legion of what? Definitely not the boom. Patrick Willis had all 3 interceptions. Russ, that's why you don't throw over the middle of the field, my guy. I get it. To be fair to the Seahawks, the 49ers are one of the most historic franchises in NFL history, so that wasn't exactly surprising. Richard Sherman stolen by the Niners. I mean, he ended his career there anyway. Well, didn't end there, but joined them at one point. And speaking of greatest franchises in NFL history, the Steelers were back up, but they had to take on the Lions, 2 powerhouses. One of them's gonna lose. Oh, that is so funny. The Steelers opened this game with possession. First play from scrimmage, Mike Singletary interception. The Lions just picked them up. Oh my goodness. But the opening score of this game after the Lions kicked a field goal, Troy Polamalu, pick 6. The defensive legends are going crazy this video. Oh my goodness, these Lions are built different. A missed kick by Chris Boswell of the Steelers instantly turns into a 50-yard touchdown from Stafford to Megatron. They are unstoppable. Detroit is on the verge of win number 4 already in this video. They just continue to cook, but Ben Roethlisberger under center. The Steelers still have a chance in the game. This game, that's a completion. That was a crazy tight window throw by Big Ben Roethlisberger. Not gonna lie, kind of put it right on the money, but again, Pickens couldn't come down with it. They're gonna hand it off. Saquon with a big lane. Oh, if he could have kicked that out wide. They are dropping everyone back. Are the Lions? Oh my, what is that play call? Okay, it's over. I'm sorry, but it's over. The play calling, the lack of urgency, the final timeout burned by Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a miracle here if they survive. Like, you gotta get out of bounds, man. They might get one more play off here, Pittsburgh. I mean, what an anticlimactic finish. This could have been a hardwood classic. Sorry, an NFL gridiron classic. What is Ben doing? Does he know the clock? The Lions win their 4th game of the video. They had how many sacks? What in the world? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, like 8 sacks of Ben Roethlisberger, led by Myles Garrett. Yeah, that'll do. Well, so much for the Steelers being unbeatable. Yeah, bad call by me, I guess. To be fair, the Lions have an insane roster. They're just collecting Infinity Stones. Jack Ham, their latest defensive addition. We'd stay with the NFC North. In our next matchup, finally, the Green Bay Packers arrived. They challenged the Minnesota Vikings. I say finally we get the Packers because, as I expected, a really strong roster here. The all-time Packers. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to get the start over Brett Favre. Oh, wow. The all-time Vikings might be better. Look at that. Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson. That is a really solid squad. Here we go, jumping into another potential classic. 2 minutes left, straight out of the 2-minute warning. Aaron Rodgers, lots of time, now flushed out of the pocket, now completes short. The Packers forced into a 3rd down. You can tell Aaron's telling everybody to RELAX. I believe that spells relax. He's dropping back in the pocket. He could have run. He throws on the run, 1st down. Aaron has the Packers moving. Will they go for 7? Though is the question. He's going to tuck and run. He's going to get a 1st. Interestingly, I don't think Devontae Adams is on this. Are they playing prevent defense? What is going on here? The Vikings have dropped everybody way back, and they are just going to hand it off to Josh Jacobs. That was weird, right? The Vikings just stopped the clock and then tried to ice the kick. There's 17 seconds left. Why is Green Bay not taking a shot? I really don't know. The kick is up from 42 yards out and looks like we're heading to OT. And here we go into overtime. We will see if we need to jump in. We'll see if a team ends it quickly. Green Bay goes empty on their first possession. The Vikings take control. They punt it back. Okay, no team is getting anywhere here offensively. Oh, it's game over. Green Bay, did they force a turnover? I'm not sure. Ray Nitschke is happy. Fran Tarkenton is not. Indeed, in overtime, Willie Wood, a legend I am not familiar with. That's a pretty funny name, though. Looks like a pick 6 to end it. I can't wait for the inevitable all-time Packers, all-time Lions matchup. I mean, we should get it. We also get Adrian Peterson. What a traitor, man. Stolen by the Green Bay Packers. Our next matchup took us back to the West Coast. 49ers, Chargers for all of California and the Pacific Northwest. This game would be another NFL Films classic, as the playmakers on both sides of the ball were dominant. Joe Montana tossed for 345 yards and 2 TDs, 1 apiece to Terrell Owens and Jerry Rice. Not to be outdone though, Dan Fouts threw 3 touchdown passes. Lance Allworth racked up 130 yards through the air, and in the end, a Cameron Dicker field goal as time expired was the difference. And with that upset of the 49ers by the Chargers, we've gone through 16 all-time teams. There are still 16 on the map. We're at the midway point of this video, folks. I let the Chargers add some secondary help. By the way, Richard Sherman on the move again. The all-time Cardinals were welcomed into the video next, taking on the Broncos, who we have already seen. The all-time Cards, honestly, not too bad. Now, Kyler Murray is their QB, not the greatest option, but he's got plenty of weapons and playmakers. Okay, this game wasn't exactly a clutch finish. It was a weird finish. Wow, the Broncos barely survived. I unfortunately predicted the all-time Cardinals would be undone. Kyler, 3 interceptions. It doesn't say it, but he was also sacked a billion times. I think, what is that, 5 or 6 times in total, including like 3 times on the final drive, which is just, that's not great, man. In addition to overtaking the Cardinals' land, the Broncos also steal Budda Baker, only a 93, but strong safety was their position of need. A couple new teams were debuting thanks to the wheel. The Carolina Panthers taking on the all-time Falcons. The Panthers roster, another one that I kind of didn't have high hopes for, but around MVP Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, Julius Peppers, Luke Key. I mean, the defense should probably be pretty good. The Falcons, meanwhile, we find Deion Sanders. Of course, Deion played for a few teams in his career. He's here on the Falcons. Julio Jones, John Abraham. That's not a great team, I'll be honest. All right, this game has been a big play bonanza. After a short Christian McCaffrey score to open the game, Drake London, a 38-yard touchdown catch. Christian McCaffrey, a 70-yarder. The Falcons scored twice in a row in the second quarter, including a 40-yarder from Julio, a 46-yarder from Steve Smith. Do you see what Julio Jones, big plays everywhere. I don't know how far the Panthers have to get into field goal range, but they've only got 38 seconds. 1 timeout now. Atlanta needs to clamp right here, right now. Cam Newton dropping back, a quick pass out to midfield. That was a first down. It was also the final timeout for Carolina, so you know they're looking to hit 1 play downfield and kick a field goal. What does Atlanta have on defense? Cam Newton has an insane stat line. By the way, he throws short, though. That's not great. Now is Madden smart enough to draw something up to the sidelines? I mean, it's got to be a quick hitter or something so fast that you can get up and spike it. Cam is going to get brought down by John Abraham, the legend defensive end for the Falcons. And this high-scoring shootout NFC South battle does go by way of the all-time Falcons. Their defense came through. Just look at some of these numbers, though. 349 and 3 for Cam. Matt Ryan was arguably better, 4 touchdown passes. McCaffrey for the Panthers had 101 and 2 touchdowns through the air. Julio went over 100. So did Steve Smith. I mean, this game for fantasy would have been amazing. Unfortunately, those fantasy numbers don't matter for the Panthers. They are gone. The all-time Falcons need a lot of work, but you can't really go wrong. 99 overall, left edge, Julius Peppers had to do it. Our next matchup would be the return of the all-time Ravens, traveling south to take on the all-time Commanders / team name I can't say. And that all-time team name I can't say, squad looking good. Look at the secondary. Ken Houston, Darrell Green, Sean Taylor. I don't know if they'll have enough offense, but we're about to find out. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, another tight finish. The all-time Washington team has performed admirably, but they might be in some trouble. They did haul down Derrick Henry for a loss, but great field position for the Ravens, who of course only need 3 points. They do have Justin Tucker back there, doing his thing. That's a first. Lamar and Hollywood Brown combining to move the sticks. 1 more first down, and they are probably in Justin Tucker's range, so they can run the clock out, but anything can happen. Derrick Henry takes the handoff, sheds a tackler. I need somebody on Washington's side of the ball to make a play right here. Strip Derrick Henry. Come on. Punch it out. No, not going to happen.
2,000 years later.
Oh my word, they are going for a touchdown. I'm here scrolling on my phone, waiting for the game-winning field goal. Is that Patrick Ricard? Okay, John Harbaugh, why would you do that? Dude, that took way too long. Way too many minutes off my life. All-time Ravens win. He's only a 93 overall, but Art Monk does become the Ravens' best receiver. There you go. A couple new teams were on deck as the all-time Titans / Oilers were traveling to take on the all-time Saints. I'll be honest, nothing too exciting on this all-time Titans Oilers squad. Earl Campbell, a legend. I mean, it's a fine team. We'll see how they do. On the other side, the Saints are pretty deep and balanced. Of course, Drew Brees, talked about him in the intro. Yeah, that's a pretty good team. I was sleeping on the all-time Titans, so of course they'd immediately make me look dumb. 266 yards with 3 total TDs for Steve McNair, the former MVP, leading Tennessee to a monster blowout. And we get to keep that clean Houston Oilers logo on our map. I love it, even if it's a bit confusing with the franchise history. I feel bad doing this because Steve McNair did have a great game, but Drew Brees Breeze is a 96 overall compared to McNair at an 88, so like, you know, that should be an upgrade for them. At long last, our next matchup would bring in the all-time New England Patriots, of course, pitting them against the all-time New York Giants. The all-time Patriots led by, well, you know who they're led by. He wasn't on the Buccaneers, 399s, including Tom Brady on the Pats. The Giants, meanwhile, I mean, hey, they beat Brady twice in Super Bowls. Why not all-time Lawrence Taylor on the other side with Michael Strahan? That defense could go crazy. The G-Men open the scoring. Eli to Odell. Okay, John, I see you. Oh, no, a rushing TD for Eli Manning. It's a 2-score lead now. All right, okay, Ramondre punches one in. The Patriots have tied this game back up. We could have another classic finish. It had to be, man. The all-time Giants with a lead over the all-time Pats. Down 6, Tom Brady going to work. Michael Strahan, Lawrence Taylor, Dexter Lawrence on the Giants defensive line is literally insane. Can they force pressure? Is that Travion Henderson for the Pats? They just said Travion Henderson has 78 yards. I mean, multiple of my fantasy teams would love to see that. Anyways, we have more important things to talk about. Tom Brady trying to dink and dunk down the field. I am color me shocked. Here he goes. There you go. Good completion for the first. Brady, a clean pocket again. He's gonna take off and run. Are you kidding me, man? New York, your pass rush, where is it? I must admit, this has been a Tom Brady masterclass, but from the 12, no timeouts left. What do the Patriots do? Can the Giants make a play? The pass rush is not there. The touchdown is Wes Welker. Well, that could not have been easier. The all-time Pats just marched right downfield. Brady out of the slot to Wes Welker like they did a zillion times, and this might be game over. Unfortunately, no miracle with 30 seconds left for the all-time Giants as Tom Brady and the Pats survive. It was a close call, nearly a crazy upset again by the Giants, but the all-time Pats survive. They also go ahead and steal Lawrence Taylor to play opposite Richard Seymour. That's good. There's still a few teams we have yet to see this video, but not in this matchup. The Broncos, the Cowboys, both returning. A legendary sequence for the Denver Broncos late in the third. Champ Bailey, big interception, Elway to Demaryius Thomas, which eventually set up a Tyreek Hill touchdown. Remember, they stole Tyreek from the Chiefs way back when, and he's making a big impact. I thought that sequence with the Tyreek touchdown might be all the Broncos needed, but here the Cowboys go. Emmitt Smith gashing the defense for a first. They've got a chance to march downfield now, down 6. I mean, they need a full touchdown. The Broncos can bend, but they cannot break. Timeouts are left. Roger Staubach is getting dropped for a huge sack. Von Miller in his prime. The Super Bowl MVP making his impact felt. The Cowboys got a long way to go now. 2nd and 18. They'll pick up some yards. That's Jason Witten. Game on the line. 4th and 9. Staubach going for deep, going for distance. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he did not connect. The Broncos would tack a field goal on to the end of this one. A 9-point win. Their defense really carried. They locked down Dallas. By the way, RIP Demaryius Thomas, a legend in his day. 10 for 132. Tyreek had the touchdowns, but Demaryius had the yards. The Broncos, an absolute juggernaut in this video. I let them steal 97 overall. DeMarcus Ware, in addition to stealing that territory. Just 10 teams remain on our map. Only one we haven't seen yet, but we wouldn't get them here. Dolphins traveling to take on Falcons. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't look it from the final score, in which the all-time Falcons win by 6, but they were involved in another big play bonanza. I mean, look at this. Ricky Williams started the game, a 94-yard touchdown reception, followed by 2 Julio Jones scores, including one from 90. I mean, I guess that was it for the big time scores, but like, you know, look at that glorious Julio Jones stat line. 4 for 145 and 3. The all-time Dolphins are gone, and the all-time Falcons, they mean business. Matt Ryan's played very well, including in that game we just saw, but Dan Marino's 98 overall. You know what? I had to do it for the all-time Falcons. We haven't seen them in a minute, but the all-time Lions were pulled back into action after the wheels spun the all-time Titans. Oh my goodness, not a big play bonanza here in this one. The Titans with a 16-10 lead over the Lions, who have been literally indestructible this video. They have won 4 games this video, have the all-time Lions. 3 of those have resulted in defensive legends being added, but their offense has not had any issues yet. That's a good completion. Matt Stafford has been perfect this video, but in this game, he's thrown 3 interceptions. It's crazy the all-time Lions still might get it done. Barry Sanders out of the backfield. Oh, I thought he was about to house it. Major credit to the all-time Titans defense for forcing those turnovers, keeping this game close. Drew Brees, they stole him to start at QB. Obviously, not putting enough points on the board as Barry. Well, there it is. The house call I was waiting for. That is clutch. That is big time from one of the greatest to ever do it. That was a clutch score by the Lions, but still a minute 8.5 left here. Drew Brees, all he's got to do is get the all-time Titans in field goal range. He's got a clean pocket, and he's got the field goal range within his sights after just one play. Are you kidding me, man? It's 3rd and 3. This game is not over. The Titans are still dropping back. Drew Brees, what is he doing? Oh, okay. He's throwing a dot to Calvin Ridley. Did that not? My man looks so confused there. Madden 26 is a truly insane game. Like, what did I just see? As the all-time Titans slash Oilers, I really can't believe they're doing this. Yeah, goodbye, Matt Stafford. After going 4-0 in this video, the Lions are promptly given the boot. Just 8 teams left on our map, including the Titans, who just acquired all that land. Calvin Ridley was out there making plays, but let's give Drew Brees an actual alpha named Calvin. That's right, it's Megatron. Megatron and the Titans would be forced right back into action as we finally got our final team making their debut, the all-time Buffalo Bills. The all-time Bills, a pretty solid roster led by Josh Allen, the current face of their franchise, of course, reigning NFL MVP, one of the best to do it. Yeah, let's just move on. With snow on the ground in Tennessee, look who it is opening the scoring for the all-time Bills. Oh my gosh, and another one. Are you kidding me? He's going crazy. Not literally though, allegedly going wow, this game. Welcome to the video. All-time Bills, a blowout of the all-time Titans, who have looked good. Drew Brees actually played pretty well for the Titans. Only 1 TD, 1 INT. They were really never in this game, especially when OJ Simpson spent all afternoon knifing through the Titans defense. 3 touchdowns. Down to just 7 teams left on our map as the all-time Titans are eliminated. What's up, all-time Bills? Also, by way originally of the all-time Lions, the all-time Bills will steal Calvin Johnson. He's on to his 3rd team. We got a fun little bird matchup up next. The all-time Ravens traveling to take on the Falcons. And this bird battle has been a banger. Let me just say that. The Ravens down 3, lots of time on the clock. All they need is a field goal to tie it. In addition to having prime time on defense, the Falcons also stole Julius Peppers earlier in this video. Jamal Lewis got stopped up there. Yet this clock is ticking, John Harbaugh. What do you have for your all-time Ravens? Lamar, clean pocket. Oh my goodness. Art Monk on the reception. What a clutch legendary addition. Are you kidding me? I don't know if that was AJ Terrell or Jesse Bates or Deion Sanders in coverage, whoever it was. They got torched. The hand is now to Derrick Henry, who's going to get hauled down. No, he scores. I thought he was down at the 1. They're going to rule him in, which is actually kind of big. I think it was Deion Sanders who actually grappled and wrestled Derrick Henry into the end zone. That's kind of funny. No way Deion would have been trying to tackle him back in the day. But here go the Falcons. They need a score. They do have all 3 timeouts. They've got Dan Marino slinging from under center. He's actually out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. Plenty of receivers. That's a first down. Can Madden figure out some clock management? They don't take a timeout. They're down to 32 seconds. You're going to have to push this thing downfield, Dan. He goes short again. I mean, it's a first down, sure. Now just 1 timeout left. I mean, will they air it out? Madden sometimes is crazy. Sometimes they have no idea what they're doing in these spots. Sometimes we will see a big play. That's Julio Jones going in motion. What are they cooking? Look at this offense. So much pre-snap motion. Really? Okay, now the all-time Falcons out of timeouts. What are they going to do? Marino, another clean pocket, finally throws deep. It's knocked away. I'm glad they took a shot, but way too little, too late. 15 seconds left, 0 timeouts. This would be an absolute miracle. I think the all-time Ravens, a clutch masterclass. It's over the middle, completed. Can they get up to the line now? They definitely cannot. Yeah. Let's huddle up. Good thinking, Madden. Time expires. All right. I hate when games finish like that, but what can I do? Down to just 6 teams remaining. Of course, the all-time Ravens would be one of them. I mean, look at all those 99s. They don't need Deion Sanders, but he ended his career there. He's a 90. Yeah, I had to do it. And those all-time Ravens were put right back into action, heading north, which was into all-time Buffalo Bills territory. This game wasn't a blowout, but it wasn't particularly close either. The teams traded scores throughout, including a couple TD passes for Josh Allen and 1 for Lamar Jackson. However, the difference came on the ground as both Derrick Henry and Jamal Lewis scored rushing TDs in the 4th quarter. The Ravens walked away with a 10-point win. The all-time Ravens laid low in this video for a while, but now they've definitely arrived. Speaking of arriving places, Calvin Johnson onto his 4th or 5th team. Can you get a win, please, Megatron? We hadn't seen them in a minute, but with just 5 teams remaining, the Broncos were back up, challenging the all-time Packers. A rematch of Super Bowl 32 from the late 1990s. I don't remember that game. I'm not that old, but I've seen highlights. this matchup should be good. Oh, right, I forgot the Packers stole Adrian Peterson earlier in the video. He opens the scoring. The Broncos, a very quick answer, 63 yards to the house for Terrell Davis, an underrated all-time legend running back. Aaron Rodgers to breakout star of this year, Tucker Kraft. The Packers retake the lead. I fear Aaron Rodgers is cooking. A 41-yard TD pass to Hall of Famer Sterling Sharp. The Packers might have this thing, yo. In fact, under the guidance of Aaron Rodgers back in the green and gold, they do have it, the all-time Packers. Prime Aaron Rodgers, 287, 3 TDs. That's just what he does. No interceptions, because of course. Oh, half our map is turning Packer green. You know what? It's kind of beautiful. Also kind of ugly. I don't know. How do we feel about the color green? I had to do it, man. Shannon Sharp, stolen from the Broncos, reuniting with his Hall of Fame brother Sterling. Isn't that nice? A family moment. Down to our final four, the wheel spun all-time Patriots, and there's only one team they can play from their spot on the map. It's the Ravens. Oh, and it's a heavy snow game in Baltimore. Let's go. Oh my good. I was hoping this wouldn't happen. Like what? I can't see anything. I cannot see. Someone gets hauled down in the backfield. That was Terrell Suggs hauling down Travion Henderson in the backfield. It's 4-down territory though. We've got to watch it. The Patriots, if they don't convert here, it's game over. Only one timeout left. Brady's going to drop back to pass. I think he has time. Oh my word, it's a drop. It was a clean drop. I think that must have been Wes Welker or Julian Edelman. I'm not going to lie. The cinematics, when you're not actually trying to watch or play the game in the snow, it looks good, that cut scene there, but this is I can't see anything. What an anticlimactic way for this game to end. That's a first down run, or near first down run by Jamal Lewis of the Ravens. This entire video, I have kept the weather on random, so given the choice, I would probably never choose heavy snow. Here was that fourth down play, a flat out drop by former Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman. I mean, okay, I guess the snow really affected things. That kind of sucks for Patriot fans. But I'm about to say something controversial. Most of us, we do not care. Patriots, you've won enough, so just deal with it. A truly crazy game, a wild finish in the snow. Lamar Jackson, well, he literally played a 152.5 rating. That's like a near perfect game. Yeah. Fair enough. It's not much territory, but the Ravens will expand their region. Just 3 teams left on our map. At this point, the all-time Ravens look unstoppable. They have 1, 2, 3, I think 7 99 overalls, including Rob Gronkowski now. But this is the most consequential wheel spin of the video. One team will get to skate through to the Super Bowl finale of our video. And that team is not going to be the all-time Chargers, and it's also not going to be the all-time Packers. Only one team that the Chargers could possibly play. The Ravens do get a bye on to the Super Bowl finish. The all-time San Diego/LA Chargers, led by their MVP winner, LaDainian Tomlinson, but they picked up Aaron Donald along the way, Richard Sherman. Dan Fouts has played some really good QB. I think this is an underrated roster. They could do it here. Obviously, though, it won't be easy. The Green Bay Packers, one of, if not the most legendary franchise in NFL history. Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind. They've got 99s. They've got Adrian Peterson. This is going to be tough. On paper, it's a 93 overall team versus a 95. It shouldn't be a blowout either way. I'm expecting a good finish. Aaron Rodgers to Sterling Sharp. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to start this game, all-time Packers. The all-time Chargers with a quick answer, though. Who else? LaDainian Tomlinson. 29-17. The Chargers score again, this time in the fourth quarter. A bit anticlimactic. I was expecting a tight finish, a good game. I kind of got neither. A blowout for the all-time Chargers. Goodbye, Aaron. I said Dan Fouts was playing some good QB this video. He continues outplaying Aaron Rodgers. Couple TD passes. LaDainian Tomlinson, efficient, gets in the end zone, 78 yards. And look at the Chargers pass rush. They sacked Aaron, but again, I can't count way too many times. 2.5 for Aaron Donald. Wow. It's not the most flashy addition, but the all-time Chargers needed a Mike linebacker. Ray Nitschke, one of the greatest to ever do it. Will that be enough for the Chargers to compete? Even as good a roster as they have with the unbelievable all-time Ravens squad? I mean, there's only one thing that we got to go find out. Our last look at the all-time Ravens squad, it is so good. 799 overalls, led by Ray Lewis. Lamar Jackson isn't even 99 on this roster. Yeah, that's basically a perfect team, yo. That is basically a perfect, I don't know how that team could get any better. 32 all-time teams entered this video. Only 2 remain, and in a few short moments, only one will be crowned the champion of NFL imperialism. After surrendering a field goal to open the game, the all-time Ravens would do what they do best. A grinding drive which resulted in Derrick Henry punching one in for 6. That would be the lone touchdown of the first half, as the teams traded field goals in a low-scoring effort. Deep into the third quarter, it was again the all-time Ravens breaking the seal. A short drive that saw Lamar find legend Art Monk for the score. Down 8 now, the all-time Chargers finally showed some life. A dominant trip downfield capped by a LaDainian Tomlinson touchdown scoop. They tacked on a 2-point as well to tie the game. After trading 3 and outs on the ensuing drives, it would be the Ravens who regained momentum. Derrick Henry his second rushing TD of the game with just over 3 minutes left, and that is where we pick up our Super Bowl finish to this video. The Ravens a full 7-point lead. A lot of time though for Dan Fouts and the Chargers. He finds, oh, what a spin move. Keenan Allen, what? Just like that, we've hit the 2-minute warning. The Ravens defense not offering much resistance. They obviously have superstars everywhere at every level. LT's gonna get the first. Oh my goodness. As I'm staring at Jim now, John Harbaugh, I just realized what this game is. It's the Harbaugh Bowl. Unbelievable. Anyways, okay, we gotta focus. Is that gonna be? No, it's a play action fake. Dan Fouts finds his man deep into Ravens territory. The clock continues to run. Are the all-time Chargers really gonna do this? Okay, they did burn 1 timeout, but they've got 2 remaining. Are the Ravens gonna stop the clock? What is gonna happen here? A very slow handoff. LT's gonna get stopped up though, and the clock is continuing to run. Does Jim Harbaugh know what he's cooking right here? I'm a little worried. Dan Fouts, lots of time. He's gonna run again. Are you kidding me? Ray Lewis, step up, my guy. Wow. Okay then, tie game. Okay, I'm just saying, 10 seconds. I've seen some crazy things in Madden. I can't skip through this just in case, and they're gonna hand the ball off. Derrick Henry's gonna get so many yards. You can call a timeout. The Ravens do call a timeout. Imagine if they pick up like 20 yards here in 4 seconds. It could happen. Lamar dropping back. The pass is complete. Zay Flowers, oh my goodness, and they get the timeout with 1 second left. I didn't actually think it was possible, Matt. Oh my word, they cooked. I can't believe it. In 10 seconds, they did it. Madden, of all the glitches you have with time management, you actually cooked in this one, unfortunately for the all-time Chargers. As in the end, a great drive to tie the game, hopefully send it to OT, doesn't come to fruition. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and Justin Tucker in 10 seconds put a field goal on the board to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that pass, by the way, was a dot from Lamar Jackson. Credit where it's due. Dan Fouts was so good this video, but comes up short. I fear the all-time Ravens winning this video was a bit of a predictable outcome, but the way that game finished, I mean, I couldn't ask for any more. I can't believe it. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this video. It obviously took me forever. These Imperialism videos, especially with the legend faces. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, show some support, and I'll be back with another upload. I don't know if it'll be as good as this one. That finish was ridiculous.